So my name is Damon Hicks. I'm a young father, author, entrepreneur, author of the book The Mindset Shift, a powerful collection of 100 affirmations. Also have a podcast which is called Over the Top Podcast that y'all can check out if y'all like to. Um, Also got my book Keys to Elevate with me. 3 chapters: environment, positive thinking, and intentional action. Yeah, here with my bro.
Peace. My name is Brother Jamal. I'm a historian, veteran, and entrepreneur. I'm the creator of the Black Culture and Black History Now This board game, Fistful of Plight novel, Mainly Comes from Power children's book, online book club, Blacktastic bucket hats, other clothing, book giveaways, and more.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So how you feeling, bro?
I'm feeling good, man. Feeling good. I really love this venue that you found. This is beautiful, man. It's very welcoming. Feel a lot of spirit laid back.
It's definitely laid back, man. I'm feeling good too, man. That's like, man, I think something that we're doing today that could help a lot of people that's watching this. You know what I mean? I hope y'all that's watching this could take something from it. We'll be talking about a couple different things, man. We could hop right into it. What's the first thing you wanted to talk about, bro?
I'll probably say the first thing I want to talk about because it's one that's more, I say it's the more pressing matter or issue at hand pertaining to our people, specifically here in Indiana.
Yeah.
I want to talk about the gun laws here. I mean, every time we get on the news, man. Well, first of all, when you think about social media, when's the last time you got on social media and you didn't see two black folk going at it with each other? Every
Man, that's
day.
been a minute.
Exactly.
I watch the Shade Room. Bro, don't watch it. But I look at the Shade Room.
Organized, cool, man.
And every time I get on there, it's something negative, you know what I mean, about our people.
It's something defiling, degrading, or something that's not a positive light or a positive imagery or reflection of our people. And it connects back to history. It's not a coincidence every time you get on social media, you'll see two black women fighting, you'll see two black men fighting or got a gun or something like that. Um, they've been portraying black people in a negative, like animalistic, cannibalistic, hypersexual, having no morality, ethics, or as if we're inhumane or sinister. They've been doing this for centuries, bro. They did it back in the day to justify slavery. They did it in books, other documents, manuscripts. They did it in the newspaper. They did it in plays. They did it in motion pictures. Birth of a Nation. Now they're doing it through social media.
Do you feel like part of the problem is we don't own a lot of the big platforms that promote it? And let me ask you this. Do you feel like we've been conditioned to be entertained by only things that's just negative and that's exciting?
Yes, it's done strategically and deliberately. Like look at the Shade Room. Look at Zeus Network. It's all about, it's defiling, it's degrading, it's saying that, we can't do, why are we entertained by that type of content in the first place, man?
I asked myself that question too because it's funny, the Cat Williams situation.
Yeah.
Bro, everybody watched that, bro. Like even the most positive people watched it, bro. My mama was talking about it.
Yeah.
It was like, it really wasn't. Why are we entertained by something that's like beef or something like that?
It's because, again, they portrayed us in such a negative light or a negative sense. Again, animalistic, cannibalistic, hypersexual, deviant, or we lack morale or, ethics and morals and stuff like that. Yeah. So we've been conditioned to think that's okay and that's entertaining. Yeah. And we've adapted a lot of malfunctional and dysfunctional and maladaptive behaviors. And we've lost our identity, our form of self-expression, our form of community, camaraderie, and coming as a cohesive unit that was disrupted during slavery. They took our identity. So now we're accepting anything they give us, how they portrayed us in the newspapers back in the day, the 5 o'clock news. Today is social media. They did it through books, plays back in the day. Today's form of depicting us in a negative light or sense is through social media. It's like...
So what would your thoughts be as far as the people that are able to feed their family off of the stuff like that? We see Charleston White, we see these Zeus networks, we see the Shade Room. I'm pretty sure people get paid off of that.
Oh yeah.
Like, how do we flip the script on that when like some of the rappers that's talking about killing and drug dealing, they get paid to be able to feed their family if they were talking about it positive? So why isn't the positive stuff selling?
Well, first of all, it is interesting. A lot of these rappers are benefiting monetarily and financially to a profound, significant, or a grand degree. They've been allocated millions, potentially billions of dollars to promote the social chaos,
Yeah,
destruction of their own people. But um, I don't like when the rappers do it because they'll talk about things that contributes to, killing each other, killing fellow black men, raping women, defiling and degrading.
yeah,
But then 2 weeks later, they say, "Oh, I want to get back to my community, stop gun violence, or
yeah.
build a grocery store,
Contradicting,
visit a
right?
school." Yeah, it's contradicting everything. So I can understand why some people do it because you know it's hard to find an avenue to prevail, have the degree of fortitude and triumph as black folk here in America.
Mm.
Even during slavery, all black people were enslaved. You had the free black folks, and then you had the ones that were subjected and dominated through chattel slavery. But the free black individuals were still under the tutelage and at a lower social status, and economic and political status than white individuals, right? So they're still under the tutelage and are being victimized by racial caste systems at the end of the day. Just because you have two or three black folk or a handful of black folks that are prevailing, the masses still suffering. As capitalism at its
So,
finest, just like
so
slavery.
how does the people that are on the right track, how do they capitalize
How do they
in this
capitalize?
society? As far as like, if you're rapping about positivity, or
Mm-hmm.
if you have a product like what you're doing, you're
Mm-hmm.
doing some positivity. Like, what would be your thoughts on that?
I say it. The only key is unity, not uniformity, and ethno aggregation. You have to adopt and implement ethno aggregation because us as a people, when you look at historic record, we've never done good as individuals. We've only prevailed and done well as a people through our sense of community and coming together. You can look at ancient African civilizations, kingdoms,
Why do you
queens.
feel that is?
Well, I'm not trying to play with your words, but I don't feel as it is. I know how it is now
Okay.
because when they picked us up from the shores of Africa, they saw we were doing everything together. They had to disband us and drive a wedge. Have you ever heard of the Willie Lynch theory of the Willie Lynch
Yeah.
letters? So the Willie Lynch theory was basically a set of letters by a man named Willie Lynch. He was a slave owner, and he was talking about different ways you can divide your slaves to make them more effective uh, through forced labor. How you can make them serve you more as their slave master. Look at they doing today. They're finding different ways to divide us and separate us so they can control and continue to dominate and exploit us and capitalize off of us. It's the same. History is always repeating itself. Like I say this quote every time I get on your podcast. Malcolm X said, racism is like a Cadillac. They come out with a new model every year. We're just in the dawn of the new form of a racial caste system, the new form of racism today. That's all it is.
Mm. I like that because it's like, I think so. Also on social media, you see a lot of people talk about the problems
But they don't have
and
no adequate solutions.
they don't have a solutions.
And then they listen to people that have no qualifications, no credibility, no validation in what they're talking about. They just got fancy podcast equipment. Then you got the dumbass. Oh, yup, that's fast.
I,
Right.
I think that's the problem in our culture, in our community as well. There's a lot of people that has fancy things
Mm-hmm.
and that can portray a certain type of life, which hence we would want to listen. Quote, we would want to listen to because they have what we're trying to get when they don't even have what we're trying to get.
Exactly, bro.
It's an illusion, and you
A
can't
lot of
get
people
caught up
don't even
into
like
it.
to do research.
Yeah,
They don't do the due diligence to do research. They'll just Google something and click on the first two links. You didn't research anything. You didn't study anything.
not to change the subject, but it's funny you said that because Master P just made a video. Y'all gotta go check it out. He made a video talking about
Mm-hmm.
Patti LaBelle,
Mm-hmm.
the pies, and he was like, "Who owned the Patti LaBelle pies? Do y'all know who owned it?" And they were like, "Patti LaBelle." Like, nah, go look who owned it.
Oh, she don't own them bars.
Walmart.
I ain't know.
And I
I
heard
didn't
she
know
only
that.
get a certain percent. Well, he said she only got a certain percent of the sales, and it's a horrible percent that she actually get.
I ain't know
So
that. And her name plastered all on them
yeah,
bars.
exactly.
And my grandma had a little apple
Yeah,
pie. They
yeah,
bang too.
yeah.
I
So
ain't buying them now. I
and
ain't
so
know
he
that.
talked about that, like, in our culture, we gotta research more, and we gotta also, really have ownership, bro. And
Yeah.
I think in our generation, the idea of ownership is misconstrued. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I think they think that certain level that you're gonna get when having ownership, bro. We learning, we growing. Like we starting from ground one. A lot of us didn't have experience or have inheritance, so we got to learn everything that we like. We published our own stuff. You published your own stuff.
Yeah,
You
your
didn't go
own
through a
book, my own
publishing. You
book,
didn't go
game.
through
We didn't go through another party or level. We
yeah.
outsourced it ourselves.
And you had to learn everything that you had to learn to actually create your board
Yeah.
game. I had to learn everything I had to learn. How to get my book in the library, how to get my book in the stores, how to even publish my own book.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, the academic laziness and the academic sluggishness. I learned this from Malcolm X. The academic sluggishness and academic and intellectual laziness of our people stems from slavery. There were literally laws that prohibited us from progressing ourselves intellectually. You know, if you were caught reading, writing, or teaching somebody to read and write that was black or the African genotype, black or African, however you want to say it, it was literally punishable by death. So now, this is why I always connected past to the present. Now you got a lot of black folks, right? Don't get me, I have 120 books in my personal collection.
Yeah,
Afrocentric
you
black
got
focus
some right
books.
here. Y'all can't really see them, but
Come on, I read books all day. But I even admit it took me a year and a half when I first started reading to get on the comprehension level and the reading level that I was supposed to be on at 18 years old. First time I read a
so
book on my own inclination and proclivity.
it's funny. Let me ask you this, because both me and we both talked about it. Like we talked about when we was younger, we posted stuff that we just felt embarrassed about.
Oh yeah, crazy stuff.
My question is, why were we even in that type of mindset at the young age? You think it was because of the influence as far as the music and our community of where we were surrounded?
It definitely was. Again, going back, it was the media. It was social media for us.
And before you answer that, what was your switch?
I
What?
switched.
Well, I know a little bit about your switch, but what was like the initial switch where you was like, oh nah, I ain't about to move like that, think like that no more.
My pivot or the dawning of my internal liberation came when it was my second year in the military. I joined the military when I was 18.
Yep.
Got out when I was 23. I'm 26 years old now. When I was about 19, I was just on Twitter, bro, and I feel rather remiss. It was somebody got killed by the police, and I'm like, why is it that our people keep on getting slain by the police? Why is it that we have so much racial tension? Why is it that I'm looking at the social, political, and economic class of my family, and it's always of a lesser or depreciated or lower degree or a situation? Why did it was the first time I was really asking questions about my phenomena and my reality, real questions, and that led me to start reading books from a buddy of mine from the military.
Yeah. It's funny because I think that's where my pinpoint was actually reading books too. Reading books really changes this. You'll start speaking different, moving different, realizing what type of confidence that you lack. For me, that's what reading did for me. It just took me to a different level mentally, bro. And then it started working on me financially, showing me what was possible, what I was capable of.
Yeah.
And now also I feel like, because he was the first one that told me to read the autobiography by Malcolm X, and what it taught me was a lot of people just lie about things, and what I thought Malcolm X was, he wasn't. Everything that they say in the media about who he wasn't. Until I read the book and realized who he truly was. He was human just like all of us. He had a goal that he was trying to meet, and he met it. And we still talking about him to this day. We in 2024.
Right, bro? Like, anytime people ask me, how'd you make your board game? They watch